If you look closely, you can see that my mom wrote 1956 on there. A little shameless self-promotion. Here's my book. This is always a crowd pleaser. I went around with a pen and got everyone to sign it.
Hey everyone, I'm Katie Daryl, and today we are doing Rock and Tell. This is like show and tell, but with really cool rock memorabilia. Today's guest is John Oates. Hey, dude. I know. What do you got for me? Let me see your goodies.
This is fun. You know, I was never very successful at show and tell when I was a little kid, but I think I've got more goods now. Boy, where do we start? You know, I'd like to start with a very special guitar.
Okay.
This is 1958 Stratocaster, which if you've ever seen me play since 1973 or 74, this is the guitar I've been playing. It's been on every record that I've ever done with Daryl and a million of other records as well. It's a very special guitar. It's an authentic 1958 that's been modified over the years. It has very unique features. It's got Gibson tone pots. It's got actually Gibson humbucking pickups, brass parts, but it's the real thing. And it's one of these guitars that I've been playing for so long, it actually feels like part of my body. I don't even think about it when I'm playing it. It's just, it's really magic. And every guitar player has, you know, some magic guitar. Well, this is one of them. So there you go.
Where does this guitar live in your home? Is it sitting in a corner? Is it hanging on a wall? Is it next to your bed?
I sometimes take it on the road with me on tour, but I also retired it for a number of years. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do on this next tour. I may play it, I may not, but it does hang in my guitar closet. I've got a little guitar closet over there with kind of the guitars that I use on a regular basis, just kind of hanging on the wall.
Some of us have spice cabinets. You have a guitar closet. Awesome.
That's right.
All right, what else you got?
Okay, let's see here. Oh, here we go. A little shameless self-promotion. Here's my book. It's called Change of Season. Came out a few years ago. It was an Amazon bestseller. I spent a lot of time on this book. I co-wrote it with a guy named Chris Epting, who's a fantastic writer and archivist. And I'm very proud of this book because I think the hardest thing for me to do with this book was to tell my personal story, when my personal story is so kind of intrinsically involved with the Hall & Oates experience. But I think hopefully I did a decent job. So if anyone really wants to know about me, it's like a book report. And if you want to know the ending, you've got to read the book.
You've got to read the book. Is there a favorite chapter or a chapter that really was more difficult to write?
It's kind of divided into a bunch of, it's almost a series of short stories. So you can open it up anywhere, read a chapter. It doesn't necessarily have to be read in kind of sequence. I've got two more things.
Two more, great, let's do it.
This right here, and if you look closely, you can see that my mom wrote 1956 on there. This is a recording of me singing Elvis's All Shook Up at the Coney Island Amusement Park. And I found it in a bunch of memorabilia, and I just had it digitized at the recording studio. And I'm actually thinking of, since it's just me singing as a little kid, I'm actually thinking of putting a band together and putting music to it and releasing it. It's kind of crazy. But so that's my first recording right there in 1957.
All right, looking back on it, how were your vocals? Were you good at it?
Yeah, it wasn't, you know, I was pretty darn good. I sounded like a little, you know, like Michael Jackson. Well, my hands are shaking and my knees are weak.
That's adorable. Don't you just love the things that parents choose to save? Because as a parent now myself, you know, there's certain things that you're like, trash. And you're like, ooh, definitely save. And you're like, okay.
Yeah. She wrote December 8th, 1956, but the song actually came out in 1957. So I don't think I wrote it before Elvis. So there you go.
Ooh, time machine.
There you go. All right, and finally, this is kind of this is always a crowd pleaser. This is the music sheet music for We Are the World, which I had everyone in the room sign. You know, normally I'm not very, normally I would have like let this opportunity pass me by, but for some reason, I went around with a pen and got everyone to sign it. And I don't know of any of other versions of this that actually exist. I believe someone told me Kenny Rogers had one, that he had everyone sign, but I've never seen another one. So this is very unique. When people come to the house, they see it, they flip out. Because it's got, I mean, I've got Ray Charles on there and, you know, of course, Michael and Lionel and everybody on there. And so, yeah, So,
I mean, I feel like you can make duplicates and sell that. Like we can make a side hustle out of this.
yeah, there's a couple things in the works on this thing, but it's pretty special, and it's definitely a moment, that luckily I had the presence of mind to get it done at the time. That's what I got. What do you think?
I think it's fantastic. I think you've held on some really good things. Thank you, John, for being here today.
Yeah, thanks, Katie.
Hey there. Thanks for watching AXS TV. Subscribe, follow, like, and do all the good stuff. And make sure you leave a comment below. I don't know, just let us know what your favorite AXS TV show is, or who your favorite bands are, and what artists you're into, or just say hi, man. I'd like to be told hi. We love hearing from you. That's the point, all right? Keep it coming.